Christie, yeah. And she's please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Or grab more. All right, everybody ready? All right, we have several sets of minutes to approve from meetings. First one would be special meeting March 13th, which was to interview for a fire chief, which I was not present at.
I'll make a motion, we accept those minutes.
I see no corrections, I'll second that.
I vote yes.
You can't.
Oh, I abstain, I'm sorry, I wasn't at that meeting.
Roll call, Tiffany. Yes. Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
No, abstain also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then the regular trustee meeting, March 13th, those minutes also, I was not present at that meeting either.
I'll make the motion, we accept those minutes.
I will second, no corrections.
Ed?
Abstain?
Roll call, Tiffany. Yes. Ed.
Abstain?
Mark.
Yes.
Okay, special meeting, March 27th, interview for fire chief. I will make a motion that we accept those minutes.
I'll second.
Yes. Roll call, Tiffany. Yes. Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
And special meeting, March 29th, which is about a 3-minute meeting. That was to approve the permanent appropriations so that we could move forward with paying bills. That's an obligation we have to do every year. So I'll make the motion that we approved a resolution for permanent appropriations.
And I'll second.
I will abstain, I was not able to attend. Roll call, Tiffany. Abstain. Ed.
Yes?
Mark.
Yes.
All right, financials.
I see no corrections, additions, problems.
I do not either. I will make a motion to accept them as they are written.
I'll second.
I vote yes.
Roll call, Tiffany. Yes. Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, communications. Christie, do you have any communications?
I do. Southeastern Equipment Company sent a thank you letter for attending the OTA Winter Conference. They said thank you for stopping by our booth and our hospitality suite. Hopefully Lady Luck shine a light and leave one big. We have some big things in store for 2023 and we're sure you do too. Let us know how we can support you and make your dreams a reality.
Who is that from?
Southeastern Equipment Company.
Equipment Company, okay.
The Board of Elections for Portage County is notifying us of the primary election to be held on Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Election officials will report at 5:45 a.m. to set up the polling place. Polling places are open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. for voting. Attached is a list of the Deerfield Township precincts and polling locations for the upcoming election, which they're both located here in this building. Notifications have been sent by this office for both public and private buildings. We request that you continue to place the precinct tripods outside near the road at each precinct location and a ballot box inside each precinct location. Tripods and ballot boxes will need to be in place prior to 5:45 a.m. on election day, or removed after the polls close at 7:30 p.m. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our office. And then we also received from ODOT the pending resolution authorizing participation in their salt contract for 2023. We need to make a determination if we want to participate and how many tons of salt we would like to participate.
I would like to order the same amount we ordered last year. I think it was, what, 60 ton?
Yeah, we didn't use a lot. but-
We didn't use a lot, but we don't know what this winter will bring. And
What's the price? Did they give us the price this
They
time?
don't give us the pricing until after it's been awarded.
yeah, they always do that, but it's always the most reasonable price, so.
I'm good with the same. We have room for it.
I'll make a motion that we purchase 60 ton of road salt,
How much do we have left over from this year?
quite a bit. But we do have room to put it in there. If we don't use it, it doesn't go down.
And then the next
So-
year we
And we don't have to take it all at one
reduce the
time. We can get 20 ton and then wait and get another 20 ton, then get the final.
order. Okay,
I'll second.
yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Mark.
Yes.
And then also Sedgwick, which is our workers' comp group rating company, they sent us a renewal invoice requesting us to re-enroll with them. The annual fee is $995, but by being a member with them, they do save us money than going directly through Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation. And if there's any claims, they also assist us with all the paperwork and all the claims. So
Did we do that last year?
we do it every year.
And did it go down or up or stay the same?
Huh?
Did it go up?
It's about the same.
so we need to move on that.
I'll make a motion that we renew with Sedgwick this year for our workers' comp.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Mark.
Yes.
And that's all I have for communication.
We had a communication for our last regular scheduled meeting. I just wanted to remind everybody that Portage County is having an Earth Day recycling event. It's April 22nd. They're collecting latex paint, tires, electronics. So I've got a copy of this if anybody wants one. Good way to get rid of some spring cleaning.
is there a limit on tires or anything to say, or?
It says they can't be shredded, they can't be destroyed. It doesn't say, but there is a phone number on here to call, and it's actually at the Portage County Recycling Center and Kent on Mogador Road.
Right,
So I've got a flyer, if anybody's interested, I can make some copies.
good chance to get rid of some tires. All right, fire department.
Okay, today is day 100 of the year. Total calls to date is 146 calls. Calls since the last meeting were 56. 4 fires, 3 of which were mutual aids. Public assist was 4, road hazards 11, burning complaints are 3, EMS calls were 29, 1 mutual aid, 4 smoke investigations. I'd like to remind everybody, we're getting a lot of burning complaints. Grass fires are on the rise around us. We've been pretty fortunate in our township, but there is still no burning between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. until the end of May. That's any type of burning. So apparatus, 1411 is back in service. Our ambulance, we got it back, it's running good. Total price was $17,325.45 to replace the engine. Hartville has their loaner back, cleaned up and ready for sale. I would like to have lunch catered to the Hartville Fire Department, if possible, for a thank you. They donated that to us at free charge. Rental companies wanted $170 a day to rent an ambulance, so we had this about 3 months, so they saved us a ton of money. And also, I'd like to have the trustees do a declaration declaration of thanks or gratitude to the Hartville
Absolutely.
Fire Department. Something maybe we could put in a frame or something.
Absolutely. As far as the lunch and stuff, I think Tiffany can elaborate on that.
Well, it was actually Vaughn's idea to have Hartville Kitchen cater, so I called them and we could do a big catered meal for them for about $120. And
No brainer.
No brainer. And then, I don't know if we want to approve maybe up to $50 and I can get some kind of a, like you suggested, a commemorative thank you or appreciation
Maybe
gift.
we could get something, like Stephen Trophy
Yeah,
or something.
let's approve up to $100, so those things get expensive. Some
For everything,
sometimes,
250.
so,
How about everything 250? Did you got the catered lunch plus 100, that's 220, we go 250.
We'll do up to $250, but I don't think it'll
I don't
cost
think
that
it'd be
much.
that
But
much,
that would be fine.
Just in case.
Yeah, that'd be fine, and I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, motion.
I'll make a motion that we do a plaque or a thank you certificate and a catered meal from Hartville Kitchen to the Hartville Fire Department for a cost of up to $250.
I'll second.
and I vote yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Mark.
Yes.
they did pull us out of a bind. When we couldn't get a motor for about 10 weeks to get put in there, we would, been very expensive to rent a unit somewhere.
And we got a really good price on the motor to get that replaced too, I think, so that worked out really well.
Initially, the price was about $27,000, and we got it for less than $18,000. So, and that includes new batteries too. Did you know that?
I did not.
Our batteries were bad, so they put 2 new batteries in. They wouldn't hold a charge, so that includes new batteries also.
All right, the mini pumper had the transmission line blown, from what I understand. It was sent out and back in service, running good. They also fixed the brakes. I didn't get a price or invoice on that yet. So
I did give it to Nancy this afternoon. It was about $1,400 for everything. Brakes, whatever they did, now transmission work, all that was about $1,400.
Do we need to approve that?
Yes, I'll make a motion, we approve paying K&D Trucking for the repairs on the mini pumper.
What was the price?
1,400 and some change, I don't remember the exact number, Nancy does have the invoice.
Okay, yes.
Okay, station maintenance, we do have some.
You guys need a
patient-
second that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll second.
Oh, okay, then yes.
Roll call Ed.
Yes,
Tiffany.
Yes. Mark?
Yes.
You went out of order, that's gonna mess me up.
sorry about that.
All right, we have, over the windstorms, we had some fascia blown off of the back of the front station. It's gonna need repaired.
When we get to buildings and grounds, I'm gonna ask that we rent a lift. Gary has a sheet metal brake, aluminum brake, and he is capable to fix that, but we need a lift to get it done. So when we get to that, that's included in that, so.
All right. Training, again, I don't know if you guys still have that rough draft of the training reimbursement policy, but I haven't heard anything back on that, other than a suggestion from Mark. I don't know where you're at with that. So I'm still waiting on some feedback, so we said okay. And everybody has been up to date on their fit testing for the SCBA grant. Finances, the USAR team, we have an invoice we pay every year is $45.76, and the county hazmat team is $595.98. We'd like to have it okay to pay those 2 bills.
I'll make a motion that we do pay those 2 bills.
I'll second.
I vote yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Mark.
Yes.
Vaughn, I don't know what happened, but I don't think I have a copy of that reimbursement policy. Can I just get a copy of you, from you? Thanks.
Yep. I normally have it with me, but I'll let that now. And also, before you guys leave, I'd like to get, I have your phone numbers, but I'll need your phone carrier so that I can get you hooked up with the text messaging through dispatch, because we're doing away with that e-dispatch system.
Oh, we
Save
are?
some money. Yeah, it's
AT&T.
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 That's good.
Right. Okay, so I'll get that set up and through this week. We're good, I think, through June, that contract is up. That was just kind of extensive thing inside of
Who are you doing it with now?
well, it's going through e-dispatch.
Okay.
It's how you're taking it through that e-dispatch app.
Right, but where are we gonna change to?
It's just gonna be straight to your phone. So there won't be any app to download or anything, it'll just be your phone.
Okay.
right to it.
I just got used to the e-dispatch.
What's that?
I just got used to that.
So,
Has the sheriff department contacted us about switching to them for our dispatching and stuff?
They did back when we signed the contract for Ravenna Township, or I'm sorry, Ravenna City.
Or in the city?
Ravenna City gave us a pretty good deal, and we already decided to go with them with a 3-year contract. We talked about that last December, January, I think it was. Also, under finances, I got the CGS Medicare data collection all completed, just in the good time. I'll get with Christie this week and we'll get it submitted up to the government, and that'll be taken care of. Equipment, I have an invoice, I think I gave it to Christie already, for the fit test machine that we got through that grant. It was $10,160. After we get this paid and proof of payment, we can get that AFG grant finalized. We already got the money for the air packs, that was $107,000. And I believe you guys should be signing the check to get that sent out to them. They've been waiting on it. The Easter breakfast with the bunny was a great success. Thanks to Kelly Simmons, Catherine Abiel, and Angie Lamb. Not to mention all the firemen and firemen's families and a couple of high school students that helped come cook, serve breakfast. We raffled off 45 baskets, so that was great. Unfortunately, we did have to start a little early on raffling off baskets because we had so many. We had to be done in time for the Easter egg hunt. It was a little chaotic for a little bit, but we made it work, and I think everything worked out great. From what I understand from the Sirenettes, that they cleared over $4,000 that day, so that was excellent. We were well on our way to getting that Jaws of Life replaced.
It was crowded. It was a really big turnout.
So thanks for all who attended and supported us, the baskets. I'd like to thank the community for their support. Next up will be Memorial Day. We'll have the procession to the cemetery Monday the 29th at 9 a.m. Line up at the station as usual at 8:30 a.m. But we'll have to start making plans for that because that'll be here before we know it. Also now I have a lot of information on grants, and I'd like to have Assistant Chief Simmons give us an update on our grants and where we're at. Got some exciting news.
Yes, we do. So good evening, I'm Assistant Chief Scott Simmons. For those of you who know me, I want to reiterate what the Chief said. Thank you to the Sirenettes. The Sirenettes, if you don't know, excuse me, they are the fundraising arm of the fire department. We want to thank them very much. I speak for the members of the Deerfield Firefighters Association, especially to you, the community. Thank you for coming out and supporting our pancake breakfast that they put on. We raised $4,500 that morning. Not only that, the Firefighters Association has raised $4,000 and close to with the gift certificate raffle. We've also received 2 very incredible donations, one from Deerfield Farms and one from the Mogador VFW. And those 3 things, the donations, the raffle, and the pancake breakfast, have given us enough money to be able to order those Jaws of Life that we've wanted for 3 years. We're going to order them next week. In the past year, I put forth a lot of time and effort applying for multiple grants for our department. We received the federal AFG Assistance for Firefighters grant that the Chief talked about a little bit. That's for $130,000 to replace the out-of-date air packs that we had with 13 new air packs. These air packs allow us to breathe breathe air in smoke-filled environments. The grant also covered the fit test machine, which allows us, every individual department member has their own mask now. We didn't have that before. Now we have our own masks that are properly fitted to our face, so there's no chance of leaks. We received a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and Division of Forestry. That was for $10,000. We put that towards a new 4x4 UTV that we have at the station now. will be turned into a wildland fire vehicle. It will have a 65-gallon tank, a 6.5 horsepower pump, and a 50-foot hose reel with forestry line so that we can take it into those hard-to-reach places in the township to be able to put out fires that we can't get to with our current fire apparatus. We received an Ohio Bureau of Workmen's Compensation grant for $40,000 towards the purchase of a new hydraulic power cot and load system that will help save our EMTs and paramedics' backs. So when we lift that cot into the back of the squad, in the old days, we were using our backs. Now we can just push a button and it lifts it up. The whole Bureau of Workmen's Comp grant is designed to allow us to stay on the job longer without injuries to our backs. What I'm most excited about, though, is last week I found out that we received the federal SAFER grant for $500,000 here to this township. So this will help us with recruitment and retention for firefighters here in Deerfield. A grant this size for a department as small as ours is almost unheard of. So we got it, and it's a 4-year plan. I had to put together a 4-year plan to apply for this grant. And just in year one, I'm not going to go through it all, but for year one, it gives us the ability to hire 3 part-time firefighters, and if they're not certified at all, it gives us the money to send them to Firefighter 1 school and EMT school. And if you don't know about firefighter certifications, there are 3 certifications that the state of Ohio recognizes, and that's it. A 36-hour basic volunteer firefighter, a 140-hour firefighter 1, and a 260-hour firefighter 2 classification. So these classifications, we're trying to get our firefighters to be to the level of what NFPA requires for a paid firefighter, which is firefighter 1. So we'll be able to send those 3 people to firefighter 1 and EMT school. We're getting $10,000 to build a day room and a bunk room in our old station so that our firefighters won't have to sleep on a couch or a futon when they're manning the station overnight. They'll actually have a bed to sleep on. We got $15,000 to put towards a new LED digital sign out in front of the station. And this might not mean much, but when you're driving by the station and it tells you, hey, it's time to change the batteries in your smoke detector, maybe you do and it saves one person's life in this township. That's worth it. When we have CPR classes, we'll let you know on that sign. We're going to put random messages saying, hey, we need volunteers, come and join our department. That's all part of that recruitment and retention. We'll also receive in the first year $5,000 to bring in advanced firefighting classes, auto extrication, engine company operations, hose line evolutions, rope rescue, water rescue, all classes that we couldn't get before because we just didn't have the money. Now we're going to get $5,000 a year for the next 4 years to bring advanced classes here to Deerfield, and we're going to invite the communities around us to come and get those classes as well. $3,200 for a large screen TV and laptop computer that will be for training. $19,000 to send 3 members a year to paramedic school and firefighter 2 school.
You've already chosen some candidates.
They're all, I told them they were going to be excited because there's been people chomping at the bit to go to paramedic school. And we just didn't have the $5,500 to send them. And now we've three years. So that will be a total of 12 that we can send to paramedic school for our department. Not only that, if somebody from our department wants to go take a college class, we have $5,700 every year in tuition assistance for that. It doesn't have to be fire related. We'll get $5,000 a year to pay for criminal background checks and also to provide entry-level physical agilities and physicals for new firefighters. And another thing that you guys will like, $3,000 a year to pay for uniforms, sweatshirts, and jackets for the members of the department. You talked about us looking professional. This will help us look professional. So in the past year, the Deerfield Fire Department has received $700,000 in grants and donations. $700. I can honestly say it's been my honor to put the time and my heart and my soul into this department to make it a better and safe place. We've also applied this year for another federal AFG grant, which is for a new ambulance, to replace the one that we just replaced the engine in. Obviously, it's not going to last very long. It's got a 10-year warranty, but
5-year, 100,000 miles.
Okay. But still, if we can get this, because of what we went through with our ambulance in the past year, it puts us to the top of the list for a new ambulance. And I applied for $300,000 for a new ambulance. So we'll cross your fingers. We'll know about that one in September or October. So hopefully we get that. So as your assistant chief, it's my job to protect the citizens, the community members, the members of the fire department, as well as the board of trustees. That's what I swore to do when I took this position. As most of you are aware, recently we took the applications and had interviews for the fire chief's position of the department. On February 13th of 2023, the board of trustees discussed, agreed, and voted upon the essential minimum requirements needed to apply for the fire chief's position. These requirements were then posted online and placed in the newspaper. We had 7 applicants. 6 were then interviewed, and it was narrowed down to 3 applicants who received a second interview. On the night of the second interviews, 2 applicants were nominated for the position of chief, but only one was approved with a 2-to-1 vote. Mr. Scott Dean, who was voted in as the new fire chief by Mr. Ed Dean and Mr. Mark Bann. As we have now found out, Mr. Dean really didn't qualify for the position to even apply. Because, as you remember, on that February date, you might remember this one.
Yes.
On that February date, on page 2 of your minimum requirements, it does say basic job requirements, firefighter level 1 required.
36 hours, basic one.
No.
That's
A
what,
36-hour is a volunteer firefighter.
well, that's what I assumed the 36 was
Well,
basic.
I'm
That's
sorry.
what I agreed
This
to.
is what you agreed to right here.
I
Firefighter
agreed.
1, right here.
36 hours is what I agreed to. How it's put down there, I don't care.
Well, we can
Go ahead and
listen to
make your case.
We can listen to the video.
Go ahead.
You agreed to firefighter 1.
Go ahead.
Okay?
Continue.
Thank you. So, what I did was I did a little bit of research, and I went back, I called the state of Ohio about the firefighter levels of not just Mr. Dean, but myself as well. And I present these to you. As you can see, he has never held a firefighter 1 certification for the state of Ohio dating back to 1992. Now, he has had what he says is a firefighter 1B. I had one of those as well that allowed me to teach fire classes. They were good from 1992 to 1996, but they haven't been valid since.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Of all the 7 applicants that we had, how many of them served the position of chief in another department? And I can only tell you that there was one, and that was Mr. Dean.
Of a volunteer fire department?
Correct.
Which
We are
not.
volunteer.
We are not. We're a part-time paid.
We are volunteer.
We're a combination department. To be a paid member, according to the NFPA, you have to have firefighter one. He was a volunteer firefighter, and he was able to be chief of a volunteer department, which is Beloit, which doesn't pay their members.
Okay.
We pay our
What's your
members.
point?
The highlighted spot on the first page says part-time, no benefits.
Correct.
So it's a paid position. He needs to be a firefighter 1 per what you agreed and what you voted on in the minutes that
I
Christie
agreed to
has.
a 36, a basic 36 and an EMT. That's what I agreed to.
Well, that's not what's written down. It's not what you put in the paper, and it's not what you put online.
Okay, well,
Any question, what's the difference between what a 36 you do and a firefighter?
right, what is the
That's a
difference?
great question. So a 36-hour firefighter is an entry-level certification that allows you to become a volunteer. You, on top of that, should have up to 101 hours of training that allows you to work in a what's called an IDLH environment, which is detrimental health hazard, like going into Deerfield Farms. You should have drain rescue training. Going into a house fire, you should have firefighter training, hose evolutions, training of search and rescue. Hazmat, you should have hazmat training. We have the biggest lake in the county, and you should have water rescue training. I happen to be the director of the water rescue team for this county.
Okay.
What else?
Is it more recovery or rescue with our lake? Out of the last 10 years, can you give me the numbers?
What difference does that make?
I just want to know the numbers.
We are bringing
Can I
closure
ask
to
you a question?
families.
I'm asking you.
That is my job, is to bring closure to families or save lives.
Are you done?
We've
Now,
saved 26 lives in the
Can I
past 5
ask you a
years.
question?
Sure.
Out of the last 10 years, of all the fire calls that we have, how many were rescue and how many were recovery? Do we have that number? Anybody?
Well, they all start out as rescue.
Yeah. And
Again, but
everybody here in this room.
how many, how many were recovery? That's all I'm
Mr.
asking.
Bann, all it takes is one.
All I'm asking is,
Everybody in this room deserves to be rescued. It's got no difference what the rescue and recovery numbers are.
Okay.
We have a team, and we have 4 divers on the department that are able to dive.
So let me ask you a question. So in the case that we do have a rescue, does not the Portage County dive team come and assist Deerfield, or let's say it was West Branch, or let's say...
That's correct.
That's correct.
We would come to assist the incident commander that's in charge of the scene.
Okay.
But how long is it going to take the whole team to get here?
But we currently have how many divers on our team right now?
We have 4,
Okay.
2 that are qualified to actually rescue that.
Okay.
Me and Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay, what else? I'll go to that. So I'm going to ask you to rescind your vote for nomination for the fire chief because he is not qualified to meet the positions that you laid forth in your minimum qualifications to apply, even to apply for the position. He still applied, he got a first interview, he got a second interview, and then you nominated him to chief, even though you went against what you wrote in those papers.
I will say, as far as my behalf, my understanding of the 36 card was a firefighter 1. Based on that, I will deny your request to rescind.
So do you remember the date that I said, I would like to help you so that nobody gets in trouble through this whole process? Because I knew the laws.
But you were also applying for the position. Does that
I
make
can
any
still
sense?
give you the guidance.
I also
Okay.
asked that.
Yes. No, we're not going to take questions yet.
Before we go any further, and I appreciate what you're saying and everything, and we're listening, everyone's listening. Mr. Scott Dean, that we did hire and offer the chief job to, is in our audience tonight. I'd like to have him stand up. I'd like to introduce him to everyone. I'd like to have him go through his credentials, his experience as a firefighter, as a chief, as a police officer, whatever, just so everyone is aware that this is not all one-sided. This is Scott Dean, Deerfield residents.
Thank you for letting me speak.
What? Okay. Did you say he's a Deerfield resident?
No, I said Deerfield, Scott Dean, Deerfield residents.
All right, like you said, my name is Scott Dean, and I, like everybody else, applied for the position and was chosen. A little bit of my background is, I'm currently the owner and operator of Dean's Funeral Home in Sebring. I'm a retired Alliance police officer, where I served on the Warrant Bureau and several other divisions within the street patrol. I am a retired fire chief from the Village of Beloit. I spent 22 years at the Village of Beloit, the last 7 as being fire chief. And Beloit is a volunteer, but the members are paid. They're just like Deerfield. I'm currently a firefighter paramedic with Sebring Fire Department, and I'm currently the detective at Smith Township Police Department. So that's kind of a little bit about what I currently do at this time. My education is, I'm a 1986 graduate of West Branch High School, a 1990 graduate of Teal College with associate's degree in business administration, I'm a 2014 graduate of the University of Phoenix with a bachelor's in criminal justice. In 1985, I took my 36-hour class at Mahoney County Career Center. 1986, I was graduated as a EMT basic with Altman Hospital. 1990, I went to Altman Hospital again to complete my paramedic training. 1992, I graduated from a place called EMCO West, as I'm also a certified Pennsylvania paramedic. 1992, I took a level 1B bridge class through Columbia County Career Center. Documentation has been provided to the trustees. It's called a 1B. It was a bridge class from the 36-hour up to the 120. At that time, there was only classification as a volunteer and a professional firefighter at that present time when we took it. Documentation has all been included to the trustees, which I have submitted to them as well. In 1994, I graduated from the Salem Police Academy. That's when I started my police job. That's a lot of my education background. I have 38 years of fire training. Say it's multiple years in Pennsylvania and Ohio as paramedic. Look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Dean, to show me your card.
Stop. It's okay. Stop. Stop. That's not appropriate.
This is very
This is the state.
inappropriate.
How is it inappropriate? This is a community meeting for everyone to know.
Hold on.
This is the only one that counts.
No.
This is a trustee's
Two meetings
meeting.
doesn't count.
I understand, Scott, that you're upset. You think it's a position that was passed over again.
I'm just trying to
I'm just
protect you guys from
saying,
future.
I understand that. I understand. But did we have this shit show at Randolph, or Ravenna Township when you didn't get the chief? We did.
That's super appropriate for you to be saying. Super professional.
Okay, so let's move on.
Scott has asked us to rescind our decision. I will not make a motion to rescind that. I think we made a good decision. If you feel otherwise, there are legal positions that you guys would have to take up. I have talked to our prosecutor about it. He feels that we made a legal decision. If you guys feel different, then he said that is on you guys to pursue it legally.
And I will say this, as I said to the last meeting. Anybody wants to come to me and talk to me why I made my decision, face to face or on the telephone, I'm here. I'll explain to you in private why I made my decision the way I made my decision.
Why does it have to be in private when this is a community meeting? Shouldn't everyone be able
Because I'm not
to
going to
get
go
the
through,
information?
this is a meeting.
It is
I said
meeting.
in private, if you would like,
121.22. It is a public meeting to be able to get the information to everyone. So why does it have to be in private when everyone is here to give the information?
I don't have to give the information of why I chose what I did, why I made my, I don't have
But
to
these
give.
are residents of Deerfield who you are supposed to represent, correct?
Correct.
You represent.
Correct.
So why can't you tell everyone here why you made the decision that you made? Passing over someone who has multiple certifications, many, many years of training, it is a freaking instructor that you're going to pass over for someone that's certified as a volunteer. Who works for, hold on, I'm not done. Who works for multiple other businesses and stuff, who is not going to be able to dedicate the time to the department that they need, whereas Simmons, who is already on the department, knows how everyone works, has worked with them, knows their weakness and their strengths. You're bringing someone in who knows nobody and doesn't have as much experience. But you want to pass over and disregard the voices of the fire department who are running into the buildings to put their life on the line to save the residents of Deerfield and other townships. So don't you think that the residents have the right to know why you made the choice you made?
Okay, again, if they'd like to come to me and not do it in a public meeting, because I don't want to embarrass anybody that applied for that job. There you go.
How is that?
it's not appropriate.
I'm ready to meet with you then. I would like to request a meeting. Who would like to come with me? It's because we just have right here.
Your little Logan boy, and he doesn't want to hear us then.
Okay.
That's why he doesn't want to say something, he's gonna say something about you. You are a child.
All right, let's go on, move on.
And any other statements quickly? Yes. Mr. Dean has said he will stick around afterwards.
I would like to, one of the reasons I heard that you thought Scott might not be a good chief was because you thought he would drive a wedge between the trustees and the firemen. That would not be. This is what I heard. I think actually the biggest wedge coming between the trustees and the firemen is Trustee Mark Bann. The last time I tried to speak to you guys, you weren't here, I'm sorry for your loss, but
Thank you.
Mark Bann treated me with the greatest disrespect. He sat there with his arms crossed, looking around when I was talking. He was very disrespectful. I mean, I was trying to teach him something because as an educator and also a fireman with 51 years of experience on this fire department, I've been on private ambulance services and stuff. I was trying to teach him something, but he had no desire to hear what I had to say. You could see him, he was like this, and sometimes like this. It was just, I think you were the biggest wedge between the firemen.
If you were... If you felt disrespected, I'm sorry. My whole point was follow the interview process, which means, hold on.
Which means you guys come to me and ask me what you should know, because I know what you should know.
So the reason I said the other people did not have the opportunity, the other applicants, to come in here and everybody stand up and say and read something on their behalf. They didn't have that same. We wanted to keep the interview process respectful. And we didn't want to respect the interview.
You should have come to me over a year ago asking my opinion.
If you're talking about disrespect, you're interrupting.
I did.
So there we go. The point I'm trying to make is we tried to keep it fair, and that was inappropriate according also to the prosecutor. It was very inappropriate to have people stand up for other candidates when the other candidates didn't have the same opportunity. That's all I'm telling you what the prosecutor said.
This was in a meeting afterward. Beforehand, I gave you what I thought was the best, what you needed to know. I gave you 10 requirements for a good chief. You didn't pay any attention to. Wonderful.
All right, with everything being said, it's
Mr. Dean, I heard you say that you were a detective. How many hours a week do you work?
4.
What about overtime? I heard something about a drug task force. How available are you going to be in our community if you're working full-time plus extras? Before we add the fire department agenda. I guess that's what I want, because I work 3 jobs, and I know it's nice to get time to do anything else. So, and I don't really, I just barely know him, so it's really about our town, our residents, their safety, and that huge ass lady, excuse my French, that is in our county. So those are some huge questions for this.
Okay, that's very simple and good question. I work 4 hours a week right now, as needed, not all the time. Usually Wednesdays if I needed. Other than that, I'm on call. Just like the fire department's on-call nature.
What is your on-call average per month, per week?
In the month of February, I worked 2 hours.
Have you ever worked in a volunteer fire department or otherwise had a lake?
Well, we covered the Georgetown area when I worked for the Lakers.
So you did Westville?
Yes,
How many recoveries are you involved in?
2.
Are you certified?
Not
for any
yet.
of those?
Not yet.
Not
Yes.
yet. But you are?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
all right. It has been asked for to rescind the hiring of the chief. I will not make that motion to rescind. I will ask the other two if they're,
I will not
will
rescind.
make a motion.
I already made my vote on the decision,
Okay.
so
So that, with that being said, the decision sticks. I'm sorry you guys are upset. There is legal positions you guys can pursue if you feel the need to do that. I've talked to the prosecutor. He feels we made it a legal decision. I'm going to go with that advice from him that we made a legal decision. We made a good decision for the township. And until we move forward with that, I'm going to move on with our meeting. Thanks everyone for their concern.
You're done.
Yeah, for now. He said he'll stick around, we'll stick around, so.
Yeah, he said he'd be available after the meeting. He'll answer any questions you might have of him.
All right, back to the fire department. He said, are you done with all that stuff? The ambulance is back running good, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
We introduced a new chief. We have a new side-by-side, which you said. You mentioned we had that. A winch came with that. Is that winch installed yet, or is that something that we need to get TJ or Gary to install in the front of the winch?
No, we just got, state aid just got the proper, they didn't have the proper bracket. for
Okay.
it, So they got the proper bracket, we just got to pick it up.
How about our water tank? I know it didn't come with it because it was on back order or something. Any word on that?
Still on back order. The association will be looking this Thursday to purchase lights and such for it.
All right. Any repairs need to be made to any of the equipment or anything?
I'm still waiting on getting the time to send the tanker down and get them valves repaired. Scheduled to put it in Apple Creek.
All right. And I've heard we're missing an air bottle off of our cot system. Is that true, not true? Have we found it? Is it something we can be replaced, or we do have replaced already? So, okay. The other one just got lost, or?
In the ambulance transition somewhere.
Okay, but we do have one, because that's a needed item. Okay, we're good there? I have nothing else.
Okay. I don't even have a fire department.
not for the fire department.
Road department. Right now, they're busy aerating all our lawns, rolling the lawns and everything. Tree cleanup from previous storms are ongoing and will go on probably for most of the summer, actually. There's trees blew down along the roads and everything. The fire department was out, cut some of them up. The guys went with the tractors and backhoe, pushed some of them off the road. Eventually, those are going to have to be cut up and cleaned up and everything. They do have, while we're on that subject of trees, we do not own a chipper in the township. I think it's $200 a day to rent a chipper. I would like to rent a chipper for a day so that we can do a bunch of grinding, trying to get stuff caught up and everything, and then at a later date, we'll probably pursue buying a chipper. These few last storms have made it very evident that we could use one. So I will make the motion this time that we rent a chipper for use by the road department.
Can we get it done in one day?
Well, it's $200 a day. I'd like to go 2 days, and if we get done what we need to get done today, we'll take it back. If not, we'll keep it the second day.
Okay,
That's my motion.
I'll second.
yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
All right, along with the road department and the buildings and grounds, like Chief Sutcliffe said, we do have a big piece of fascia off the south end of the building. One of our employees, Gary Lifefight, has a aluminum brake, sheet metal brake, and is very capable of fixing that. However, we have no way of getting up there, so we're going to need to rent a lift for a day to get those repairs done right there. I'll make the motion that we rent the lift.
Second.
What's the cost of the lift?
Again, buddy,
$195 a day.
$195 for a day, and 1 day will be sufficient for that lift.
I will say yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
All right, along with buildings and grounds, our Memorial Day is coming up. Our cemeteries are going to get a lot of work done. I mean, pretty soon sticks cleaned up. People will start cleaning up the graves and everything. Our drives in the cemeteries are kind of in rough shape right now. We have asked Cemetery Association to buy gravel for the driveway, which we think they're going to approve at their next meeting. But if you just put stone and talk to holes and stuff in the driveway, it's still going to be a stone right there. Or a hole right there with stone in it, it's going to get pushed out. They make a landscape rake that'll fit in the back of our tractor or one of our skid steers, either mine or TJ's. I would like to rent that landscape rake for one day. That will go in, bring all the stone back in from the edges of the cemetery driveways, flatten them out, fill in the holes, and make a good base before we do put new stuff on top of it, rather than just putting new gravel and old holes, so. And I'm gonna guess that's gonna be 200.
I have one at the shop you guys can come and get.
What's that?
I have one for skids here at the shop you can come and get. We just have
You
to-
do have one?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. All right, I'll provide the skids here.
I don't have one of those yet.
Now, I got the skids here. If we can use that, we'll take you up in that
I'll put a
office.
chain on the road.
I'll have the road guys get a hold of you when they're ready to do that.
Okay.
Thank you. We don't
Thanks,
have to rent one.
Thank you.
Moving on with the road department, buildings and grounds. Every fall, late fall, early winter, we discontinue trash service at Deerfield Cemetery and at the park over here. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we resume our trash service at the cemetery and at the park.
Second.
Through Conrad's.
Through Conrad's, who provides our dumpster down here.
Third, yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
All right, ball practice has started at the park. I know Tiffany's going to talk about that in a little while, but before she does, so since I'm on the buildings and grounds. The ball team and the soccer team is going to provide one porta pot over there, just a standard porta pot. The township provides a handicap porta pot over there so that anyone can get into it and everything. The cost of that is $200 a month, as long as we want it. They come in and empty it and clean it one time per week. So that's through Steve's Porta Pot Service in Sebring. That's who we've used in the past. The service is great. I'll make a motion that we resume that service at our park over here.
I'll second.
And yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Another thing the guys have done, back in February, there was an accident where a pickup truck ran through a circle, hit one of our war monuments up there, literally picked it up, moved it about 10 or 12 foot. The guys went back in Monday with our backhoe and straps and everything. They were able to pick it back up and get it back in place. There is minimal damage to it, just a couple of chips in the stuff. I pursued the insurance company. They will not replace it with granite. They'll probably give us a couple $100 toward it. It's going to be fine. I just want to let everybody know that that is put back up there. There's lights that were damaged in that accident. The guys have lights ordered. They will put them on there. All this stuff that we're doing, our equipment, our time and everything, there is a form we fill out and we'll turn it into the insurance company. We'll be reimbursed just like we would have hired a contractor to do all this for all our time, our equipment, our fuel, our wages, anything that we incurred to do this, the township will get reimbursed for it. So that's that and that. Like I said, the lights will be repaired in the near future. They're on order right now. As soon as they get here, the guys will do that. There is a street light up there that the head is still missing off of it and broke. That is Ohio Edison-owned street light. There has been a work order turned in for it. They will get on that. Obviously, they've been busy with all the storms and everything. Also, our street light did not go to the top of the list, but they will fix that for us. That's all I have on buildings and grounds. Tiffany, I know Tiffany's got more probably.
Do we have more on the lawn? $1,200 for the fertilizer?
Fertilizer.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then,
I missed that.
yeah.
At this time every year, our buildings and grounds people come to us with a list of supplies they need to last the summer, which is fertilizer, weed and feed, Roundup spray, grass seed, straw, anything they need, lime, anything they need to get through the summer with patching cemeteries, graves in the cemeteries, patching where there's damage to the yard and everything. They're asking for about $1,200 this year, no more than $1,200. I will make a motion that we allow them to spend up to $1,200 for various lawn care needs.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Okay. Tiffany's going to talk about this a little bit more too, but over at the park over there, they're playing ball again. We're going to have soccer over there this year. We're going to have a busy season over there. Our driveway going in is pretty narrow. It's only wide enough for one car. If two cars come, somebody's got to get over the grass. Right now, if you get over, you leave ruts and everything. We feel we have room over there where we can widen that out about 2 foot on the north side and about 2 foot on the south side, which will give sufficient room for two cars to pass. He has included in here a price for about $1,200 for stone. However,
Yeah, SYBSA mentioned something about that. I don't have the details, and Brett couldn't be here tonight, but I'll speak with him if he wants to pitch in for any of that cost.
so do we want to move forward with widening that, and
I think we should get on that real quick.
and
before the
if we
season
incur an
starts.
expense of up to $1,200, that we will,
Yes,
we'll ask for donations from the ball team maybe, or someone has offered to maybe provide some stone to us. So
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and get started in that project, and if we have to, we'll spend up to $1,200 for stone for that. That's a
second.
much needed
Much
project.
needed. Yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes,
Price for the stone in the cemeteries, Deerfield and Hartsel Cemetery, we figure about $6,000 to cover everything the way it needs to be covered.
each?
We don't know what,
No, not each, I think it was total.
no, that's total for the two.
I saw 5,400, but it seemed
Yeah,
like it was light.
we said 6,000 estimated that way. If we come in under, that's a good thing, but we will. Again, the Cemetery Association, we think they're going to make a
I
donation.
did speak with them, they're gonna have a meeting, I
Right.
just wanted to wait until after Easter, I don't know when they're meeting, but they are open to discussing that.
So,
Yes.
I made that motion to get the Harley rig to get the driveways in shape so that we can move forward with that whenever the time comes. So I'll make the motion that we do proceed with the stone for the driveway.
We already motioned, we.
Well, that was
roll call.
for,
The 1,200.
that was
That
for
was-
the
that was
ball
for the
field,
ball
not the
fields.
cemetery.
Are you going for the 6,000 for the cemeteries?
Correct, for Hartsel and for
Okay.
Deerfield. Yes. Did we get a second? I don't know.
No,
I'll second.
yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Mark?
yes.
and that is all I have.
Okay, ball field time. We are contracting it with SYBSA again this year. Things went very well last year. They did pitch in for the cost of the dumpster because that was one of the big expenses that we had. Like Ed had mentioned, we are going to supply a handicap porta pot, and the teams are going to supply any other additional porta pots that we need. And this year, Bobby Vicks, are you here? No, he is not. You are there. So we are also going to have soccer this year as well. They are working together to try to coordinate parking because parking is always an issue, but with the added gravel in the driveway, hopefully we have a little less damage. Did you want to tell us a little bit about the soccer and what's, yeah, how many?
I'm the least involved person.
That's okay. How many players? Tell us a little bit about your team and your organization.
Well, this is the first year that we've done spring soccer. We do fall soccer at Deerfield, but they're completely taken up by baseball in the spring. So we decided that spring soccer. I think we have about 80 kids.
80 kids, ages?
Ages up to 13, I think.
Okay.
So we'll be playing with an alliance league, so we'll go back and forth between here and alliance for games, but practice between here.
So, awesome. I have contracts, so we can look over those, but what we're going to do is ask, the township's going to offer to pay for a third of the dumpsters, and we'll have the baseball and soccer pitch in for the other third for the season for as long as we need, if I can make a motion to do that. But before I do that, last year we had a 4-yard dumpster, is that accurate? I called Conrad's today, that's what we
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
So that is at a cost of $90 a month. Was that, Buddy, big enough? Was it too big? Could we-
No, that's fine.
It was fine. So I'll make a motion that we approve the dumpster for $90 a month and ask that SYPSA and SYSA contribute a third of that cost.
I will second that motion.
Yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
yes.
So this year, not only baseball, but soccer too. The ball fields will be jumping. Don't anybody park in the grass.
What else? Is that it?
No. Well, that's it for baseball and soccer.
Okay.
Every year we plant flowers in the circle. Laura's out there every year. We plant circles, flowers to make it look pretty. I called around to get prices today. I called the urban.
Do we need to approve the contract?
Do we need to approve that?
Oh, well, if you guys have time to look at it, we can backtrack and do that.
I look at them.
Okay, well, do you want to make a motion? I'll make a
I'll make a motion
motion
that we accept both contracts as presented.
They're the same as last year with
to, very little changes.
very little change at all. I will second that motion.
Okay, yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So I called Urban Growers and got prices. I also got prices from DeHaas, which we usually get. DeHaas is $2.20 a plant, which is the best price significantly. They're giving us the same prices as last year. But I want to change the color, and they have so many colors to choose from to coordinate with our hanging baskets. So I would like to, at that price, get 60 plants, and we'll get 3 different colors. We'll get a lavender blue, a white, and a rose mega splash that has shades of pink in it to coordinate with that. We will also order 50 of the Patriot Red for the Cemetery Association, which they reimburse us for every year for the cemetery. So I would like to make a motion to do that. The cost for Deerfield would be $132, and then, you know, we would get reimbursed for the red for the cemetery.
I'll second that.
I'll vote yes.
Yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Yes.
They've got lots of colors to choose.
The sun patients.
It's the same colors.
Okay.
Well, the geraniums, because the sunflowers are, the sun patients take a lot of watering,
Okay.
so the geraniums seem to be a little hardier. So, if you agree,
They live.
they live,
They live. Not my favorite, but they live.
and we can get pretty colors this year,
Yes.
it'll be good.
Perfect.
Do you guys need potting soil or topsoil or anything, or it's good just to plant them?
We just plant them right here.
Maintenance?
Oh, by the way, we're gonna do that on May 20th at 8:30 a.m. at the Circle. I'll bring coffee, and we'll plant flowers if anybody wants to join.
We'll put it on Facebook.
We'll put it on Facebook.
Anything else?
Choir,
Okay.
Oh, yes, choir.
Mr. Westover.
We had the issue with the Saturday, correct?
So,
And Sunday,
Well, the Sunday, that's the day of the choir,
the
right?
day of the event.
so as of right now, that Saturday is not booked. But you don't need the hall that Saturday, correct? You just need it for Sunday, and you wanted to have everything set up and ready. Am I understanding that correctly?
What we do the week before the concert is we have our regular rehearsal in the middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tuesday is the 4th of July, it's going to be Thursday the 6th,
And that's on the calendar.
okay? And we set up in here, we have our midweek rehearsal. And Saturday is our dress rehearsal. If there's nothing booked on Friday, we leave all of our sound equipment up. And then Saturday, we come in and we have our rehearsal, and hopefully we can leave our sound equipment up overnight for the Sunday.
So you need the entire weekend
Correct.
for the 4th of July weekend.
Unless, and if you're gonna charge us, normally the fee for a Saturday or a Sunday in the summer is $100 for Saturday and another $100 for Sunday. It's not worth us doing a concert.
No, we'll work with you on that.
I mean, as far as I'm
I mean,
concerned,
if we could-
31 years ago, the Township Trustee set a precedent for this event by allowing us to have the building for those 2 days without a charge.
Okay, I guess my question is, but if, let's say we would have rented on Saturday, could you tear it down Friday and reset up late Sunday? Would that be a possibility that would work with you guys?
Set it up late Sunday.
Late Saturday.
Or early Sunday.
I hate to bring my volunteers out late Saturday night to set up. One of them can barely walk, and that's my problem.
Saturday is a day that's open to be rented, so we would have to actually hold that for the entire weekend if we're doing what he's asking.
It is a community event and everything. I guess I would be willing to.
Well, and July 4th, I don't know that everybody is going to want to rent the hall. Have we
As of
rented
right
in the
now,
past,
it's
do we
not
know?
rented.
Yeah, right
And I
now.
think July 4th, everybody has parties, and if it's that weekend, correct?
A lot of times holiday weekends, we're not.
I'll make a motion, we allow you guys to have that for those days, the make it a lot easier for you to set it up and tear it down.
But
However,
only,
I
only
do-
if I can sing with you.
Yeah, if I can sing with you.
I'll second that.
Yes.
My only question is, like you said, 31 years ago, this building wasn't here 31 years ago, so the trustees couldn't write it in session 31 years ago.
The choir's been 31 years, but since 2004.
Right, and you guys, that's good for the community and everything, there's a big, huge turnout, so I will be more than willing to allow that to continue. I agree with that.
Community course, thank you very much.
But thank you for coming and asking us ahead of time so we didn't get into a debate when the time came and everything, so.
He came to last meeting.
Yeah, I wasn't here, so.
July for a great concert.
Thank you.
And that's on a donation basis, you take donations, but it's an event for the
It's a
community.
donation, it's a free will donation, there is no admission charge. And we don't sell food, we give it away.
Very good. I urge everybody to come. I've been to a few of them, and it is a great event. These guys work hard to do it, and it turns out really well, so.
When I come and work in my office in the evenings, I get serenaded by your rehearsals, so I like it.
So,
Thank you.
good luck. All right, you have some, we have some.
Anybody have anything out here? Other than the fire department? Right off, let's do this. Anybody, anything other than the fire department tonight?
Why do you gotta be so negative toward the fire department? That's my thing. Because,
We're not-
no, just listen. My biggest thing is you can watch videos in the past, all the stuff on YouTube, you're always negative about the fire department, but you're okay with everything else. That's my biggest concern.
For me, I don't see it that way. It's just, that is one of the biggest things in the community that we have to make sure that we, watch what we spend. We have to get a plan of what we see the future of. And, we've spent money prior to these. You have to watch. That's the second most expensive between the road department and the fire department. Those are,
Also, I will let you know, I had 3 phone calls on people bad mouthing fire department at several restaurants. It was described as you, so
well,
I don't know.
I don't know if I would say a bad mouth in the fire department, maybe the choices of buying the side by side. Yeah, I
It's
did
not
say
very
that.
supportive.
But, okay, anything other than the fire department?
As a younger community member of Deerfield, and live on Twin Oaks, children are raised at the lake, and I also work at the lake. Safety is number 1 priority here in the community. As young ball fields, these ball fields have not been used for years, up until last year. We need to do something for our community. That is right. My husband and I, 10 o'clock at night, we're watching YouTube videos of what's going on in the township because our lives are so crazy and chaotic. The trustees of Deerfield are embarrassing to us. If we're going to go anywhere, we're going to have to see change. The volunteer fire department, they're here. If you look at all the area surrounding fire departments, there's lack of workers everywhere. If you're going to upset a small community, such as Deerfield, Ohio, and be biased on who you would like for chief, then you're going to lose half of your force.
Okay. I felt was best for the township. That's what I based my decision on.
And
What I feel was.
I'm saying what is best for the community
Okay.
and the township. That's not anything else.
The township. Look at how you are treating, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Liz Davis. I am 240 paramedic fire instructor, fire inspector, sorry. I've been on the department for 8 years. I've had the pleasure of working under 3 different chiefs. Thankfully, Scott is our assistant chief now. I don't want to say anything bad about Mr. Dean because this is the first time I've ever seen this man. You guys have done a giant disservice to him by going about hiring the way that you did. You did not, specifically the fire department, asked you for names of applicants, didn't tell us anybody, would not give them a chance to speak. Do you know, when's the last time you went to that fire station? We have holes in our floor.
Mr. Allison, did we not make a motion for you guys to buy very nice leather recliners, including this administration, for those people to sleep on something nicer than what was there? Did we not make the motion and approve that?
You did.
We did.
At the end of my term, you did.
What can you fit in that tiny office?
Again, in the process of putting the sewer in, we got together and we said we were gonna put the bathrooms and the showers in the back.
We don't have showers. What happens if I go out
That
in a disgusting hall?
is in the
What happens
process.
if I go out in a disgusting hall?
Again.
I have to go back and sleep in the nastiness? No, we don't have showers at our fire station.
That brings me
Okay.
right back to the talk that you guys got all these plans for the fire department, but you've not included the fire chief or any of the fire members in it.
Yes.
I have been kicked out of the septic tank talk. I've been out of that. I don't even think you two were involved in it, knowing where it was gonna be hooked up and where it was gonna go. I've asked to have the floor replaced in the office.
And we approved that.
And we approved
We
that.
approved that.
No, you said you were gonna do it. You took
We approved getting the floor replaced in
You
there.
took Gary over there, and you said Gary was gonna do it, and it never got done.
And
You
Gary
never
got
told me to
cancer.
go get it.
And Gary got cancer. And Gary was down for the wall. So again, these are all coming. This is all stuff that's coming to this fire department. And again, you guys are all mad. You're mad because of the decision we made.
No, we're mad because how you act as a trustee. You don't give a shit about anybody on the fire department. The only one that does is Tiffany, and she shows it. You guys don't.
Okay.
And just so you're aware.
And I'm sorry you feel that way.
Step down.
I'm sorry you
The
feel that
siren
way.
that's stepping down too. We
I'm
have all
sorry that
made
you
the
feel that
motion.
way.
We will step down too. So just so you know.
And this has nothing to do with you hiring Scott Dean.
Scott Dean had nothing other than to apply for a job, so please,
If you were saying something, just listen.
as far as Scott Dean, as far as attacking Scott Dean,
No one's
he's a gentleman who came here to apply for a job. Right.
Again, the fire department has
All right.
nothing against Scott Dean. The fire department has what our problem is against the trustees.
Moving forward,
who have
we'll
not
address these issues.
anything that we said. Exactly.
We will address these issues.
We will, listen, we will get the justice.
We've let everyone speak. We're going on something that we can't do anything about tonight anyway. I urge all the members of the fire department to give the new chief a chance. Get to know. See, there may be great things coming that you don't even know about. You're going to shortchange yourself.
It's not about him, it's about you guys, and the fact that you don't listen to anything the fire
Okay.
That's fine. We have one more issue we need to go over.
Okay. I had a phone call on the company down on 224 called DJC's. They have permitted, have given me their permits from the Akron Regional Air Quality Management District, which is a permit. The Ohio EPA permit for, I think there's a total of 8 different categories. And I just wanted to let anybody know, because there were some complaints on it. They are, as far as I can see, we'll have to talk to the prosecutor, but as far as I can see, they're all within their legal rights. They have all their permits. And unfortunately, Deerfield does not have zoning, so there's not a lot the township can do, but they are totally within their legal rights. So I didn't know if there was anybody here that had that issue.
Spoken to the owner?
What's that?
Did you speak to the owner?
They are right here in front of me.
Hi. I have your contact
But-
information. I wasn't going to call you if somebody else already had.
Yeah, so I have all the permits. Thank you. And again,
on the EPA website anyway, you can look at it.
I think some of the questions were about the dust and the sprinkler system.
We have one special.
yeah, and they have the air quality.
They all
right
came
here.
out, it's all in compliance with everything.
I think that was one of the biggest concerns.
Yeah. Yeah, Akron Regional Air Quality Management gave them their permit.
And you've got a good water source to do that. What is the water source? The pond.
Okay.
I have one more thing. I do want to ask that we schedule a second meeting this month on April 24th. It'll be a regular trustee meeting. We can conduct any business, not a special meeting. In the past, we used to have 2 meetings a month. We have a lot of stuff because of the season and things like that. We have talk about the stone and stuff again. So At this time, I'll make a motion that we schedule a second regular trustee meeting for April 24th at 6 o'clock.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes,
Mark.
Yes.
I have nothing else.
Coming. Yeah, well, I know. The last words I got from them were, it was going to break ground this year. All I got. That was about 5 weeks ago.
At the next Civics Association meeting, I forget when it is, it's later this month, one of the gentlemen from that company is supposed to come and speak on that, get some more information on when it's going to start and things like that. I've asked him to come. He said unless he's out of town, he'll be here, and he'll try to send someone if he is out of town. So that'll be at the Civics meeting. You'll have preliminary plans to show people, maybe answer some questions and stuff, but we keep getting assured it's moving forward. Motion to adjourn meeting and pay bills.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes. Take it.